Alright, so I figured I'd jump on here for a minute because I actually spoke with a friend today who was asking when we were going to start these back up. And I think it's probably time. So I know that the Lodge lottery just ended for the 2026 season. So congratulations to everybody who won for 2025, and we'll, if you're staying with us, we'll see you soon. If you're planning for a 2026 trip, this is going to be probably the time to start doing that. And so I think it's important to talk about it because people can be a little bit confused. It is kind of a complicated process, and we want to make it as easy for everybody as we can. While there are lots of options for getting to Katmai and going to see the bears, we do think that there are good ways to do it, and then there's ways that are maybe not as efficient, not as cost effective. But depending on your schedule and what you're able to do and not do, there's different options, right? So you don't have to visit Katmai from King Salmon. You don't have to win the Lodge Lottery to get there, and you could camp, right? So there's lots of different options for how to do it, and they all come with their, I would call them, pluses and minuses. Not everything's perfect. Some will be a little more expensive. Some are a little less expensive. And it really just kind of depends on exactly what your budget is and what your timeline is and what you want to do. So we've got lots of good resources here on Katmai B&B's website where you can come check that stuff out. If you're interested in fishing, you could go to katmaifishingguides.com, and I'll pull that up and you can see that. So let's see. So you can go here if you want to learn about our fishing offerings. If you're interested in just bear viewing trips and you don't need lodging, although we do everything out of King Salmon, you can come to Katmai Expeditions' website and learn about that. But Katmai B&B has the most information on it because people are typically looking for lodging when they're reading about this, and so that'll give you kind of some insight there. Obviously, there's some information here on bear viewing, river tour, Valley 10,000 Smokes, salmon fishing, and char fishing. But the good stuff is really over here in the blog, and I try to give you guys all this stuff away for free. I don't ask you for anything, and it's all here for you guys to come read. Some of this stuff might be a little bit outdated because I've wrote it about 2 years ago now, but I try to go through and update it every spring. Just to make sure that there isn't anything that is super off. But sometimes pricing has changed because it changes annually, and I try to update it, but I don't always get to it before people start looking. So we've got a whole article here on how to get from King Salmon to Katmai. So if you're looking for options on how to get there, that's available. I know when is the best time for visiting Brooks Falls for bear viewing is a common question. There is another article here about why visiting Brooks Falls in August might be something you should consider. And then this one's kind of a longer article, and this one talks about getting to King Salmon, getting to Katmai, where to stay, what it costs, and that kind of stuff. And then I just wrote an article just recently on when to book your Alaska adventure, tips for planning the perfect trip. And I also made a whole YouTube video on the Katmai Adventure Show channel for how to start planning your trip and when to start planning based on the certain businesses that you're trying to do business with, and then also to consider their location and total availability. So all of that is important and it matters, and you kind of want to think about that stuff as you're planning this trip. And so you want to just kind of consider that stuff. The blog is where you can find some of this information. If you want to find fishing stuff, you can come to the Katmai Fishing Guides blog, and this one's much more fishing focused. We talk about gear, we talk about how to fish for salmon, so very specific to fishing information there. And so it's just kind of time to start thinking about that. If you're thinking about coming in 2026 or in 2025, you're probably a little bit behind the curve, but it's not the end of the world. But if you wait till the end of January, it's going to become very difficult. I do know that some people are going to start to be notified about if they won for the Brooks Lodge for 2026 over the next month or so. If you did and you're thinking about spending a night in King Salmon on the way, before or on the way out, now's kind of a good time to start thinking about that. And then also, if you don't win the lottery, but you've decided that you do want to visit in 2026, it's also the right time to start making those reservations and those kinds of decisions about where you're going to stay, who's going to take you, and that kind of stuff. So it's just time to start kind of picking when those when you're going to make that trip. And if you really want July dates, which is kind of the peak of the bear viewing, you don't want to wait to make that reservation. Even this summer, it will be too late. A lot of the prime dates are already starting to go, and you definitely don't want to wait any longer to make those reservations. And so that's just kind of time to start doing that if you want to use Katmai Adventure Co., Katmai B&B to make that trip happen. Some of the other operators don't take reservations until the end of this summer season, but because we have super limited availability here at the bed and breakfast and with the guide service and for the bear viewing and the fishing, it becomes important to make those decisions now rather than later, because if not, we're concerned that you might miss out on the dates that you're looking for. And that goes for all of Alaska travel. You certainly want to be thinking about hotels, excursions, and flights over the next 12 months or so. You don't want to wait until next January to try and plan that stuff. I've got a good friend, her name's Sherry, who can help you plan your trip if you're looking to do stuff beyond Katmai. She's very good at what she does, and she can help you, make the decision on if it's the right time to do that, when it's the right time to book those different excursions and the lodging and that kind of stuff, and she can help you do it. But if you guys have any questions about Katmai, we will start to pick up the weekly live streams again, we'll probably do next Thursday, January 16th. And then I'll start doing the live shows. We live stream on YouTube and on Facebook every Thursday. And then I will do a more in-depth live Q&A webinar once a month. And we'll do that for the next few months. We'll probably go so we'll do January, February, March, April. And then typically by May, we're starting to ramp up for the next season. So most of those live streams and things will start to happen from Alaska, and I'll have less time for the Q&As. But we'll try and keep the live streams on Thursdays going as long as we can until we just get too busy. And then July will probably be a little too busy for me to do it. And then August, same thing. And then sometime in the end of September, we'll kind of pick up with some of those the live streams once again. So I just wanted to jump on here real quick. That's basically all I've got for this evening. But I just kind of want to make that update. Like, live streams will be coming back on the Thursday, January 16th. And we'll start doing those weekly. But of course, if you have questions or want information or anything, you can reach out to us through one of our different channels. You can give us a call. Right now, we're kind of on our winter hours, so we're Monday through Friday, basically, in the middle of the day for about 5 hours. We're available for phone calls. And then after that, you can just fill out a form on a couple of the websites, or you can send us an email. So if you do come over to Katmai B&B's website and you would like to send us a form, I'll show you where that's at. So any of the Book Now buttons will bring you here to the form. If you want to just put in your information here, requested dates, what excursions you're interested in, number of guests. And then if you want to add notes, you're more than welcome to do that. It really helps us kind of plan before we give you a call or shoot you an email so that we know what you're looking to do. And then, of course, you can always give us a call. So hopefully that kind of gives you guys started on when to start planning this. And it's definitely time to start thinking about it. If you know somebody that could benefit from this information, please feel free to share it. It certainly helps us, and it certainly helps them plan their trip. We are super low pressure. We don't need to make the sales. We want to help you guys get to Katmai first, and then if you choose to do business with us, that's fantastic. But ultimately, our goal is for people to have a good trip and have a good time seeing the bears out in Alaska. So thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys